We did a segment on the Mitsubishi Outlander last season. We praised it for its standard feature list, well laid out interior, and its fantastic price. This is the Mitsubishi Lancer GTS. It's based on the same platform as the Outlander, and it's here to take on established leaders in its class like the Mazda 3 and the Honda Civic. The Lancer GTS looks all business with aggressive styling, extra goodies, and a big rear spoiler. More on the spoiler in a minute. Check out the front end on this thing. Very aggressive. Mitsubishi says that the inspiration for their styling came from a shark's nose and air intakes from a fighter jet. It definitely looks serious, but I see other cars kind of blended in here, like the Dodge Charger, even the Volvo C30, and the Audi A3. Now, I'm not a big fan of just listing off a long laundry list of features on a car because anybody can go to a website like drivingtelevision.com or the manufacturer's website and get them all listed there. But the really big story with the Mitsubishi Lancer GTS is what comes standard and how much it costs. So here's a list of the standard features on the GTS. They include chrome accents on the front grille, fog lights, front spoiler, side skirts, and a really big rear spoiler, exhaust tips, sports suspension, 18-inch alloy wheels, automatic climate control, leather steering wheel and shifter, chrome accent handbrake, 6-way sport seats with sport fabric, 140-watt stereo with auxiliary plug, and a Bluetooth hands-free system with voice recognition. Well, that's some pretty tasty stuff, right? Now, that's the standard features list. That comes with every GTS, and there's only one option package, and that includes 3 things. The first thing is you get the keyless entry, which means you don't actually have to get the key out to unlock the car or to start the car. You get a 650-watt Rockford Fosgate stereo with a subwoofer and a sunroof. That's it. It's a good-looking car, right? It has a killer standard features list, right? But here is the kicker. The Lancer GTS starts at $21,698. For that price, it's eating the competition for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The interior is well laid out with a splash of carbon fiber trim across the dash. Speaking of the dash, it looks more than a little like the Toyota RAV4 dash. Everything is easy to get to, the seats are comfortable enough, and the back seats have the kind of space you'd expect in a car of this size. I could live with this interior. So not only does the Lancer come with front, side, and side curtain airbags, it also comes standard with knee airbags. So it's a pretty good looking car, right? Except for that rear spoiler. More on that in a minute. It has a long standard features list, but can it hold up to its boy racer looks out on the open road? Well, at the heart of the base Lancer and all Lancers is a 2-liter 4-cylinder motor. Now, on paper, it sounds pretty good. It's got 152 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. But a lot of the power really doesn't come on until you get the revs up to about 4,000 RPM. So in comparison, it doesn't have the low-end grunt of, say, the Mazda 3 with their 2.3-liter engine, and it doesn't have the really high revs you get from, say, a Civic. It's somewhere in the middle. A 5-speed manual is the base transmission, or a continuously variable transmission is offered. We've got the 5-speed. I can imagine that the CVT is a bit less spirited. The suspension upgrade you get with the GTS basically comprises of a thicker rear stabilizer bar for better cornering ability. This vehicle really does what you ask it. You point it somewhere and it goes there without much fuss. The suspension, I would say, really is tuned a little bit more for comfort and everyday commuting. It really is quite comfortable. So if you're somebody that's looking for a real performance suspension, you might want to give this vehicle a pass. The addition of bigger brakes on the GTS and the 18-inch wheels offer a level of security, but there's no traction or stability control. Okay, I think I'm going to sound like a bit of an old fart, but I don't want to drive around with a big spoiler on the back of the car. First, it obscures a bit of your outward visibility out the back, and I think I look like a big dork driving around with that big shopping cart handle on the back. I wish the GTS came without it, and then if you wanted to get the big spoiler, the dealer would install it. This way, you actually have to get the dealer to take it off and fill in the holes. I don't know what you do to get around it. It's a good looking car, but I think it really is a bit of a sheep in wolf's clothing. It has all the go on the outside with the big aggressive front end, the skirts and the spoiler, but it really isn't a performance car. It's a good daily driving machine with aggressive looking styling on the outside at a good price with a lot of standard features. Something we don't talk about too much on driving television, The warranty. This car has a fantastic warranty. It's covered for 5 years or 100,000 kilometers. The drivetrain is covered for another 5 years, a full 10 years or 160,000 kilometers. That, added to the price, makes this thing very attractive. But I wonder how much we could get for the rear spoiler on eBay.
Want to buy a new car but can't decide? Go to driving.ca and do your own research by using the comparison tool.